Now in the fourth point, let's highlight the key point given. Molecule formula means actual number of atoms in one molecule. Highlight that to the. In the third point, highlight simple whole number ratio of the atoms. Okay. Now the actual formula is C6H12O6. Empirical means if you can divide the bottom numbers by the same number, you can turn it to the simplest way. So for an example, I can divide each of the bottom numbers by 6, right? So this is 6 times 1, 6 times 2, again 6 times 1. So I can rewrite the equation as C1, I'm not mentioning 1, then H2O. See? So this is called, the blue color one is called the empirical formula, the simplest whole number ratio. We are not writing decimals for the bottom numbers. Okay. Now actually we have this formula C6H12O6, but when you are raising that to the simplest way of the element ratio, it's 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Pooja, is that clear, that difference between empirical formula and actual formula?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's look at this example given. Determine the empirical formula of a compound that contains 10 grams of hydrogen. So below the hydrogen we are writing 10 grams. Then 80 grams of oxygen. So below the oxygen we have to write 80 grams. That is the very first step we have to follow in this empirical formula calculation. So first you have to identify in the question what are the elements they have given. Mention the elements. Then below to the elements, mention the values they have provided. Then Pooja, the next step is you have to divide the given values by the mass of that element. Now hydrogen mass is 1, oxygen mass is 16. So we are dividing the given values by the mass of the relevant element. Then equals MOMR. So we are using that concept here in the second step. So later on we are studying that further. Then you will realize why we are dividing the given value by the mass number of the element. Okay. Now once you are getting the values, now you got 10 and 5 now. Out of this you have to select the lowest number. Now 10 and 5, when you are comparing, the lowest is 5 now. So both of the numbers you have to divide by 5. So we are dividing 10 by 5, 5 by 5, then you will get 2 and 1. Okay, that means there should be 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So when you are writing it, we are not writing front numbers. What we can do is we can write the below the subscript numbers only. So hydrogen 2, so H2, 1 oxygen. O1, we are not mentioning 1. That's how we got the answer. This is the simplest ratio in between hydrogen and oxygen according to the details given in the question. Okay, yeah. Now in this question, they have mentioned 3 elements. What are the elements they have mentioned? Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. But when we are writing the answer in the exam, it's not compulsory to draw the table. So first of all, identify the elements. First write carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Then below to that, let's write the percentage given, it's 40%. So I'm just writing 40 here. The percentage add up to 100, okay? In case if they have mentioned another element, you can subtract these values from 100 and check whether it's having the value. Okay, so in this case, when you are adding 40, 6.7 and 53, it's add up to 53.3, it's add up to 100. Okay, now I have written the details they have mentioned. Then the next step is I have to divide this by the mass values. What is the mass of carbon, atomic mass? Quickly check your periodic table. 12, very good. Hydrogen? 1. Oxygen?
1.
Yes, good. 16. Okay. Now we have to use our calculator. It's a must to use your scientific calculator for the chemistry calculation part. For the in full chemistry papers, paper 1, 2 or any alternative papers, you can use your calculator. So take that advantage. Don't do mental maths. Okay. First one 3.3. Okay, now in case if you get many decimals, round it to 1 or 2 decimal. Let's round it to 2 decimals now. We can write 3.33, okay? Yes. Then next one, when you're dividing 6.7 by 1, it's just 6.7. The third one, Putha, tell me the value.
3.3.
Again 3.33. Okay, 3.33. Now, once you will get this is representing the mole ratio. Now, Putha, when you are writing the formula of the compound, we are considering the ratio of the elements. That is actually the mole ratio. So, here we got 3.33, 6.7, again 3.33 as the ratios. So, we have to simplify this. To simplify this ratio, we are selecting the least number. So, compare this and tell me what is the least number. 6.7, 3.33. What is the least number?
3.33.
3.33. So, I am using that and dividing it, okay? So, each of the terms we have to divide, each of the values we have to divide by 3.33. Then Putha, we will get 1 here. 1 also. 6.7 divided by 3.33. 2. Yes. Rounded value is 2. So, we found 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen and oxygen. So, we can write C1, hydrogen 2, no, CH2O.